All right, this all seems possible. But what I tell every student is you sort of let the I've got videos on this too. Sort of draw a circle. Put the. Let's see. I actually have them. So this is somebody's study of lesbian family formation. You put that at the middle, and then you start figuring out what fits. And you only create sort of headings where there are big topics. So you put your topic at the middle and sort of create a threshold level, like of relevance. Threshold of relevance, and it must meet that threshold of relevance to be included in your lit review. But it also must have multiple authors talking about it so that it actually creates sort of a mountain, every article that talks about it. And where those mountains form are good subheadings or headings in general. So like these for this student were maybe headings. And if it's something else that's maybe relevant but maybe too far away, like LGBTQ civil rights, that might be outside the circle of relevance. Not that it's not relevant, but maybe it's not relevant enough. So tell the readers everything they need to know that's most important for this study that you're hoping to do. So you're going to have your own sort of whiteboard. You can draw it on a sheet of paper. You don't have to draw it at all. But what I'm saying is these aren't always sort of prepared ahead of time. And this may be too much. I don't know. You want to focus on empirical literature. Yeah, and I think you'll be fine. But you want to focus on everything that somebody would need to know, so that they have a current idea of the research in the field most relevant to your topic. So if you had an hour to do a presentation of all the literature and to share that with somebody, everything they need to know to understand your study, why you're doing it, why there's a gap in the research, and then also so they can sort of know ahead of time how you might analyze the data a little differently based on the literature. Those things are important to know. So I hope that helps. Just see where things emerge, and go from there. All right, thank you. Bye. All right, I wanted to add one more piece. Synthesize. Example. Whereas Elliott 2021 suggested that dissertations are difficult for those without high IQs. Gooden, I made this up, 2022, found that students with average or above average IQs were just as successful with dissertations. Gooden contended that personality variables like grit and determination were instrumental to success, such that those that persevered could succeed. Regardless of higher IQ or lesser IQ, as long as a sufficient level of capability was met. So sentences like this, where we have multiple articles, we're synthesizing them together. So this would be, every paragraph needs to have 3, 4, 5, 7 articles being synthesized together. Every paragraph of your lit review. You also want to have critique. So difference in findings between Brown and Charles regarding the success of students of color could have been due to the difference in methodological approach, indeed, Brown, well, specifically, Brown had a sample size much smaller than that of Charles. You know, something like that that might explain a difference in findings. Or maybe another example of it may be noteworthy that Brown was funded by his university or her university, which could have created bias and or a conflict of interest, which may have influenced her results, her findings. Critiquing things like this, then I'd also say summarize, tie in, transition. At the end of most paragraphs, if not all, summarize the overarching info that was presented and tie it to how you might approach the study differently. E.g., interview questions about X, or confounding variable being controlled because the lit mentioned it as a potentially influential variable or pay attention to comments about why. I'm just filling in the blank there. So doing things like that, and then transition to the next paragraph. For improved flow of reading. So a lot of this will be in your own words. It'll be sort of saying, well, after reading all of this paragraph, hopefully more than this for a paragraph, you want 4 sentences minimum for each paragraph, especially in a lit review. You're likely to have 24 sentences. I don't really count them, but you want it to, you don't want to really go over a page per paragraph, because there's always a good point where, hey, it's good to start a new paragraph, even if it's sort of the same content. Break things up and organize them in such a way. So this is sort of the final thing I'll mention. Organize strategy. So what do you call it? Organization. For each paragraph, create a comment at the beginning of the paragraph using insert comment that says what the main idea of the paragraph is to be. Then use it as an umbrella to be sure that all sentences, check them one by one, fall under or within the category of that umbrella sentence, the main idea. If they fall outside of it, they may need to be modified, moved, or removed, or the main idea sentence may need to be modified so that it includes that information if you feel that it still fits within that paragraph. Then, for each section, create headers. Check to make sure that all the main idea comments fall under the header umbrella, such that none stick out. If they belong in that section and stick out, then you need to modify your header. Finally, go through each sentence within paragraphs, and each paragraph main idea within each section to make sure that they flow in a logical order. It can help to number them and make sure that A leads to B. Avoid having readers go from like a sentence A to B to C back to A then to D or F and then back to E. You know, you don't want to have them go back and forth. You want everything to seem like it falls in a very logical order. So that's the sort of the starter kit I have for you today. I hope that helps. Thank you.